We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, along with Ricky Pitalico, Ruben Amaro Jr. I'm Michael Barkann, 6-4 in favor of the San Diego Padres. Phillies' 2-game win streak is done, and the Phillies now 50-36 on the season after the game one of this doubleheader to make up for yesterday's rainout. Ricky Bo, Ruben, I know it's going to be simple to hear me say this, but subtract 5 runs that the rookie Mick Abel allowed in the first inning and 2/3, and the score is a lot different than he really had a rough time. What's the look?
Because I don't understand how you intend to just subtract 5 runs from the game. If you subtracted the Phillies 4 runs for the game, they lose by 6. You can't do what you just did. You just can't do it.
2 runs?
Mick Abel could not throw
3 runs?
He couldn't throw strikes. You don't see many lines like this. An inning and 2/3, 5 walks, and you give up 5 runs. You don't see lines like that. He threw 5 more balls than he did strikes in this game. Or, excuse me, 3 more than he threw strikes. You can't do that. You have to throw strikes in the major leagues. You don't throw strikes, these guys aren't going to swing. You're going to give up runs. It was a terrible outing.
You know what the killer of it was? Is there were 2 outs, and he had 2 strikes on the hitter, and then threw 6 straight balls going into the next at bat.
It took some of my thunder there, Michael, because that was the big at bat. Elias Diaz was at the plate. He has not had a very good season. Hasn't been swinging the bat all that well, and he had 2 strikes. I think he was 1-2 or 0-2 in the count. He loses that hitter, and he basically lost it. Period. Couldn't throw strikes consistently after that. Just couldn't find it. Couldn't find the arm slot, and that's something that sort of nicked him a little bit early in his career. He had sort of worked through those things this season in AAA, but he struggled to get back into that strike zone, and it really hurt him after he hung that one pitch to Machado for the double.
All right, let me ask you this. I'm going to go back to June 21st, his last start. He got roughed up by the Mets. He gave up 4 runs on 4 home runs, and we wondered whether there would be any carryover, even though it's been 11 days. Do you think that had anything to do with it?
It really could have been a little bit of a carryover. Maybe in his mindset, he didn't want to use the middle of the plate. When you don't use the middle of the plate, he was trying to edge the corners. Maybe he was having a tough time doing that. He was absolutely terrible on the inside pitches to right-handed hitters. As a matter of fact, he was trying to go in there, and he almost, who was it, Machado? He almost drilled a couple times. Tatis almost got taken out. You have to be able to locate, and you know how many times do I bring it up? When a starting pitcher goes in there and he gets to that inside corner, it makes it that much tougher on hitters. When you're not throwing the ball to the inside corner of the hitters, you're going to get beat up. And not that he gave up a bunch of hits, but he gave up one important hit. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a pitch.
There's a first and second, 2 out, full count.
0-2 count to start that.
And then the 6 straight balls. He gives up 2 walks and the first 2 runs. Caleb Coughlin comes out. And I don't know what he's saying there. It didn't work.
Words of wisdom, of course.
Certainly trying. And then bases loaded, there's another one.
Well, he went to a 3-2 count, and instead of going to a fastball, and I can understand why JT did this, because he really couldn't get a feel for the fastball, so he tried to get him to throw a little breaking ball to throw a strike, and he couldn't, and then it just sort of snowballed after that. I feel for the rookie a little bit because, one, he has that tough outing with the Mets. Then he warms up fully and doesn't end up pitching in the next game. And he's sort of waiting to, and thinking about his next start. That's a long time to have to think through that after having such a poor start against the Mets. And that can weigh on you a little bit, Michael. And I think that's probably what happened to him a little bit. And obviously, you see the line there. Not a great outing.
And the one thing we did say, and this was in pregame, we were talking about his curveball. And wouldn't you know, that's the one he gets beat on. Was kind of a spinner out over the middle of the plate, and Machado didn't miss it. You felt like, I think Machado kind of saw enough of his pitches where you knew he was going to get a good swing at some point if he left one over the middle of the plate. And what does he do? He hits it down the line. Everybody's moving. Everybody scores.
When you saw him pitch prior to all the walks and the runs being let in, do you think he was struggling even then? Or
I don't think he looked good. He didn't look good from the get-go in this one. But I just think you lose a number 9 hitter, 0-2 count. Yeah, you're asking for a little bit of trouble. And I think he kind of felt the moment. Sometimes you go out there, you don't really care about the moment, and you're just going pitch by pitch. I think this was a little different. I think he realized that he loaded up the bases, and he's got Tatis, and he's got Machado, and he's got Merrill coming up in that inning. I think that could have weighed on him a little bit.
Yeah, in that regard, I think it did, and we're watching it, and we're seeing the 2 outs and then the 2 strikes, and the runs start to come in the second, and there's nothing anybody can do. You're out there by yourself.
Yeah, the game sort of speeds up on you a little bit as a youngster. It's hard to slow it down, and, he's had some issues with throwing strikes consistently in the past. Now, it was last year when he was struggling a little bit just being able to throw strikes, and he's gotten a little less analytical with his game and has really had a very, very good start to the season at AAA and a very good start to the season here in the major leagues. It's, but it's difficult. It's the major leagues, and you have to have that mental toughness. Hopefully he can get past that this next time. If he does get another opportunity to pitch in the big leagues, he's going to have to, overcome that and move forward.
All right, so let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 6-1 San Diego. Kyle Schwarber hit the home run in the 6th inning. Here's JT Realmuto at the bat to start it off for the Phillies in the 7th. And a double right there, Ricky Bo.
Yeah, he was swinging the bat pretty well today. I mean, he ended up with 3 hits in this ball game. This is a big double. It's the 7th inning. It's a 6-1 game. You're really not thinking much of, this is comeback time, this is comeback time. But you could claw away a little bit, and that's exactly what they did. Here's a little roll over to second base by Stott. Got the runner over. Stott did not have a very good day, at least the first game. 0 for 4 in this one. He really didn't get any good swings out there.
And then here's a wild pitch by Hoeing. Well, Sosa's going to score on the wild pitch, but Sosa triples to left there. Realmuto scores first. That makes it 6-2.
Pretty mind-boggling. His ball down the left field line ends up in a triple.
He is, and I've looked at some of the studies here. He's one of the fastest guys in baseball. I think he's like his sprint speed is somewhere right around like 10th or 11th in all of baseball. You don't really think of him as a speedster, but he hooks this ball just over the bag for a triple. You're right, Ricky. Very rarely do you see that happen.
Pitch.
I mean, I think he hit the ball so poorly that it was so slow going down to the left field corner. And, I mean, there's got to be some – that's a great slide, by the way.
What an athletic move.
What a great slide. A little sweeper, got his hand out of there, swum around it. Nice job.
So 6-3 right there, and you had 1 out, then 2 outs, and then the walk to Turner. And Morjan comes in, and you're figuring, all right, Schwarber coming up to the bat. They got a chance to get right back in it.
Well, there's always a chance. I mean, the one thing that you have to believe in, that you always have an opportunity to do something special. And I'll tell you what, Kyle Schwarber got 3 good pitches right down the middle of the play. I didn't realize that one was right down the middle. He got 2 pitches before that he had really good swings on. That one, not as much. I'm almost wondering if he may have been looking for a breaking ball in that situation. He got a fastball, rolled it over. But now we go to the 9th. JT, by the way, where's Tatis Jr. playing on this ball? Is he playing in the seats?
Yeah, playing.
Because that's a routine fly ball to right field.
Yeah.
Super deep. He splits the gap a little bit, drops it in there, and he holds up smartly. Mm-hmm. Then a nice base hit, first pitch, pinch hitting by Marsh, driving in that run. Nice piece of hitting by him.
So that scores JT at 6-4, and Marsh is there with that single. And this is one of the controversies of the game. Here's a rip by Turner, and Marsh decides to take third. And
I have no idea.
I thought he was safe. I didn't
really,
initially.
Initially, you did not. You
Right.
just could not really tell. Even you can.
There was another view.
You know what's very odd? There was not a conclusive shot that we saw that actually tells if he was tagged or not.
That view right there.
But if you look at Marsh, watch Marsh.
Yeah.
If we still
That
have
was just guilt, Ricky Bo.
Yeah, but when he got up off the base, it looked like he knew he was tagged.
Well,
and he knew
also
he was up.
Machado was whooping it up like he got him.
So here's the bottom line on that play.
Game
That
over.
can happen. I know that they did not win the game, but he cannot put the team in that position. It can't be even close. It can't even be a question whether or not he gets to third base on that play. It's almost like trying to steal a base from second to third when you're already in scoring position and you get thrown out to end the inning. And you think about it. You got Schwarber hitting behind you. He's one of their best hitters. It's just something you cannot do. And I know that Rob Thomson had a chat with him after the game, explaining to him, talking to him about it. And I'm sure that the next time that rolls around, Marsh isn't going to do it.
There's a double mess on this play because that ball dropped 4 feet in front of the center fielder. Center fielder lays out to catch that. He's doubled off at first.
Well, I think
because he did not stop running. He just took off running and assumed that ball was not going to be caught.
It's 2 outs. It was 2 outs. So he was going
Oh,
on the
that's
play,
right.
right?
Yeah,
2 outs.
There you go. Don't let the facts get in the way of it.
Yeah, I just ruined that one.
It's okay.
Boy, that just ruined the show.
Let's go. No, I think we're okay. You know what? We'll suck it up. We'll keep going.
Well, he baffled me for going to third in the first place.
He baffled you with his
It's a
base
sin.
running. Let's go to Rob Thomson in the clubhouse, who explains really his thoughts on what happened at third base.
On that Marsh play at third, it looked like he kind of read the ball on his own, or did Dusty try to hold him up or wave him through?
Oh, that's a base runner's decision right there. Ball's in front of you. Marshy just assumed that the center fielder was going to throw the ball into second base, keep the tie and run out of scoring position, but you can't assume anything. You got to make sure in that situation.
How did Bryce come out of the game? I know you were going to wait and see. Did you talk to him?
I haven't talked to him yet. Trainer's report says that it seemed to be fine, but I want to talk to Harp, and I don't want to push it.
Mick started pretty good with the 2 strikeouts to start the game. What happened in that second inning? He just seemed to lose the plate.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was trying to be too fine, or I'm not sure, but he had 2 out. I think he had a runner on, then the walks came that put him behind the 8 ball. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there, but he did lose command, lost control.
Do you expect to have another arm here for game 2?
I do not.
You seem good to have with Mick. Like, how do you view his rotation spot going forward?
Well, we haven't talked about it, but you know, I haven't talked to Mick either, so I'm not sure how he's feeling, or I'm sure he's disappointed in the start, but. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Was his outing cause for concern given his control issues in the past, or did you just chalk it up to one of those days that happened?
I just chalk it up to one of those days. He's been pretty good all year long, and he's been good here. Very few walks in his first couple outings, but they've piled on a little bit here lately. So we gotta fix it.
You still committed, Rob, to waiting until after the break for Painter?
Yes. Yeah.
Any flexibility there?
What's that?
Any flexibility there?
I don't think so. No.
Sorry about that. You spoke about earlier how the layoff for Mick might benefit him because of the innings buildup. How much do you think the layoff affected his performance this afternoon?
I'm not sure how much, but it could have, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Johnson's one here as the 27th guy today, but is there a scenario in which you guys keep him running? He's 99.
He was really good today. I mean, really good. Throwing strikes, curveball was. He broke out that curveball, and it's sharp. It's a swing and miss pitch. So, there's a lot of things we have to talk about.
Was Lazar ready for Machado in the second, or did you just want to get Mick to the second?
Well, trying to get through 18 innings, I'm hoping Mick can get through that inning, But his pitch count got so high in that second inning, we had to get him out. But I was just, he got the 2 strikes on Machado and just hung a breaking ball. So, yeah, we're just trying to manage our way through a bunch of innings here.
When you guys put up a couple of runs in the 7th and Johan's spot came up, how much did you consider pinch hitting Brandon there in that spot?
In the 7th? I didn't. No, nobody on. I think there was 2 out, wasn't there? 2 out, nobody on? Yeah. Now, if we had some guys on, maybe I would have. Yeah.